Every few NBA seasons there comes a prospect whose talent is undeniable, a player whose skill is levels above the competition, a player teams feel can give them immediate success when drafted. These players we call once-in-a-generation talent. Shaq, Braun, Dwayne Wade, Melo, KD. These caliber players took the league by storm the second they stepped foot on the NBA floor, turning their teams from bottom feeders of the league to contenders. In the next year's 2023 NBA draft, there's a prospect who definitely fits this mold.
He's very, very talented, and it's hard to know like how high he can go. And so that's the beauty of it, and that's why I think every GM in the NBA thinks he's going to be number one. Sky is the limit for him. He can do anything he wants.
At 7 foot 4 inches, 230 pounds with an 8-foot wingspan, prospect Victor Wembayanma is already a rare talent. And when you pair that with the skill this kid has, it just seems unfair and unreal. Wembayama is a standout two-way forward/center. On the offensive end, there isn't much the kid can't do. He's a great ball handler who can create his own shot using his handles, especially for someone of his size. He can hit the three at ease, as well as kill defenders in the post. And his IQ is way beyond his years, which leads him to kill double teams with his playmaking ability. Needless to say, this kid has unlimited potential. The only knock against the kid by scouts is that he is frail and lacks strength. And while that holds some merit, I call bullshit.
Bullshit.
Using the being too frail knock against players rarely age well, and if I recall, one of the most notable players they used this against made this transformation. My bad, wrong person. There we go, exactly. Vic will eventually fill out as a pro, and while I don't expect him to make a Giannis-like transformation, I believe he'll perform just okay throughout his career with a somewhat thin frame. With a talent like Victor Wembayanma approaching next year's NBA draft, you can expect a few teams to do everything in their power to pick him up. From tanking and losing as many games as possible like the 2002-2003 Cavaliers in pursuit of LeBron James, or the 1997 Spurs who only played David Robinson a total of 6 games even though he was healthy for a large chunk of the season and host landed Tim Duncan. These scenarios only come around once every few years, and with a talent like Wembayama in the pool of next year's draft, we can expect to see a few teams that take some drastic measures to get in a position to land a star if they haven't already. Here is my list of teams I predict to do everything in their power to land a star, in no order. The Utah Jazz. At the time this video was created, the Utah Jazz have already started cleaning house, getting rid of their star duo of Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert for some talent, as well as a series of draft picks. In the 2023 draft, the Jazz have 3 first-round picks. One pick is their own, which is expected to be a high-value pick, being that they're not expected to win many games. The second pick belongs to Minnesota, which doesn't really hold much value since they are projected to perform well next season. And the last being a pick swap, where the Jazz received the least favorable of the Nets, Sixers, and Rockets selections. With these first-round picks in next year's draft, I believe the Jazz have a decent chance by tanking in pursuit of Vic. But if they can't secure the number 1 overall pick in the lottery, then I don't really see them having enough to offer whichever team does land the spot. And that is why they are one of my biggest candidates for teams to have one of the worst records next season and a great tank for Wembayama. The Spurs. Greg Pop and the San Antonio Spurs are another organization who started to clean house as well by sending all-star guard DeJounte Murray to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for up to 4 draft picks and Danilo Gallinari, who they would waive shortly after. In next year's draft, the Spurs have up to 2 first-round picks, with one being their own and the other being a top 16 protected Charlotte Hornets pick, which would more than likely hold no value, being that Charlotte's projected to be in the lottery with the loss of forward Miles Bridges. This puts the Spurs in an identical situation to the Jazz, but they will have to make the most of their own first-round pick. And with a move like getting rid of your standout star player who led your team to the play-in tournament, you can definitely tell which direction they're headed. Which is why I have the Spurs listed as well, as a team that will lead in losses and attempt to land Victor Wembayama. Oklahoma City Thunder. The rebuilding Thunder are a team that's definitely building steam. They were projected to make a good turnaround this year up until their 2nd overall pick, Chet Holmgren, went down with a season-ending foot injury before the year even began.
How, Sway? Take a few steps.
This puts the youngest team in the league in a good position to continue to develop their talent without pressures of looking to make the playoffs. Next season, the Thunder only have 1 first-round pick that they can swap with the Clippers, which I doubt will happen. So with that being the case, they only have 1 first-round pick in this upcoming year's draft, which is their own. Now they have 2 options. If they want a chance at the number 1 pick, They can wait till sometime before the draft and trade a series of first round picks for the number 1 pick, or simply tank this next season for a better chance at winning the lottery in hopes to get Vic. And this is why I have the Thunder as clear frontrunners in the race to land Vic. Because even if the Thunder don't land the number 1 overall pick through the lottery, they can still put together an enticing offer to grab the spot from whichever team does land a spot. The race for Vic is only getting started. We have a full season in between now and the NBA draft, and literally anything can happen to catapult a team into contenders for landing the once-in-a-generation talent, Victor Wembayanma. Thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you soon.